come on, get out of here, you. Oh my God, this computer's slow. Good morning, Laura. Hi, Yvonne. Hi, Tanya. Jeff, can you bring me my Bluetooth when you come? Hi, Clint. Nobody's answering.
Hello.
Hi, Kathy. You awake?
Yes, I am. I've been sitting here waiting for you.
Okay. Well, I forgot. I need my phone, Jeff, and my Bluetooth speaker because this will just echo. So, y'all ready for your quilt along?
Hi, Laura, Yvonne, Tanya, Clint. All ready to roll this morning, aren't they?
Yep. And I want to show you guys what I did with this.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Probably got to plug my phone in.
Yeah. I want to turn the volume down on that so it's not so scratchy.
What do you mean?
On the speaker, turn the volume down.
Oh.
Because if you turn it up, it starts to sound scratchy.
Well, I turned it down because it was way too loud last night. Okay. One second here. All right. Can you guys hear me? Kathy, anybody?
Barely.
How about now?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Okay. All right. It's just I have to charge my phone. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just going to leave my Bluetooth there. That way there's no echoing on my computer. Good morning, Mary. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, BJ.
Sharon. Oh, yeah, BJ. Who else did I miss? Tanya, Mary. I think I got everybody. They're all saying yes, I hear you good.
Okay. So this is what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to show you guys how I've done this. I put lace on all my sashing, and I sewed together the block. So now we have, this is what we're going to call our blocks. I have a thread here. I thought the lace would be really nice to hide our stitching, and on the back it looks beautiful because everything is just diamond shaped. And I mean, our seams aren't going to match up perfectly, but that doesn't bother me. The back doesn't bother me. It's the front that bothers me. So what I did here is, and I'll show you how to do this on the next block that we make today. So this is what we're considering a block. That will be 4 units. We'll complete 1 block. So in here, I haven't stitched this down yet, but this is what I'm going to, I haven't even stitched, you see there's no seams here yet. This one here where I added the pieces of lace, I just restitched over top of my stitching I went on the back side, but I don't want to do that because there's pieces in here that I didn't catch with the sewing machine. So that's why I want to sew it from the, yeah, you want to sew this from the top so you can keep your lace nice and straight as you sew it. You do not have to go all the way to the end because, again, you're going to fold it and it's going to reduce the bulk. If you put more lace in there, when we get to the end, it's not going to be seen anyway. So I really like how this looks with the lace on it. And I've got two different laces. I got one for the blocks and one that's going to be for the long part. So for the row. I just think this is going to look really, really pretty.
Yeah, I like that.
Uh-huh. I really like it too. I like how it hides all your stitching. That's the number one I want to do is hide this stitching. Without hiding this, without the lace, your stitching shows across the top here. And you know, your sashing may not be exactly perfect 1/2 inch. So you're going to see that if you just leave it like this. But if you add lace to it, it's going to throw it all off. And nobody's going to sit there and go, oh, look, that's crooked. They're going to be more focused on the lace than they are of your seams.
Yeah, because that's the problem I had with that quilt I made. It's Quilt As You Go. And I never would have thought of putting something on the binding.
Hi, Lade. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Tracy.
Good morning.
Thank you, Lade. So yeah, this is just something I think that's gonna, you don't have to do this. By all means, I'm not making you guys do this. I'm just giving you some options and some suggestions because nobody has perfect stitching. And you know, even if you go a little bit crooked, you are not going to see that in your lace. If you flip it over, I went crooked here, you're not going to see that. I still can't see it. But I just think it makes the backing look really beautiful, hides all your imperfections. Like what I did is I tried to stitch here. I stitched in the ditch, or here, stitched in the ditch. And you can see I didn't stitch in the ditch there. See? Because my seam is not perfect here. And now you can't tell that on the front. So nobody's really going to look at that.
And they can go with a plainer lace if they don't want to be so fancy. You can get a lace that's not, you know, real fancy.
Absolutely. You don't have to use this. I just found this lace to be reasonably cheap at Amazon. And you got a lot of lace. I got a lot of lace for the price that I paid.
Yeah, you did.
So I picked out,
that just
try to go for, if you are going to put the lace on your sashing, try to go for lace that's at least an inch thick or an inch wide.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cover the hole.
Yeah, so this one here is,
I love that.
this one is 1 inch. So the one I'm using on the long part is 1 inch. And this one is 3/4 of an inch. So even 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch will work perfect for you.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Just thought I would share this with you. Because then what we'll do is we'll take our blocks and we'll sew our blocks together. And I matched up my seams really well here because I wanted this to match up. But I'm going to show you all of this, how to sew all of this together. So your 4 blocks, you're going to sew them together and you're going to make one big block. And this is what we're going to use to sew all our blocks together and join all our units. So we're going to put 3 of these in a row. How many were we going to go down?
Oh, I don't remember.
So in all due respect, we're going to be doing 6 of these units across, but 3 blocks across. You get what I mean? There's 4 units to a block. So this is actually 1 row, 2 rows, and 1 row, 2 rows. Okay, so this is just a little bit confusing, but we do only have 8-inch blocks. Good morning, Om. Hi, Olivia. So yeah, so I will get to showing you guys how to put all of this together and create one big block, adding your lace before you actually sew anything on this block. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Phyllis. Thank you.
Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Phyllis.
Tracy, I'm going to show everyone how to do this. Once we get our 4 blocks completed today, I'm going to show you how to sew it together and how to put your lace on, how to square it all up so it stays nice and straight and you're not working with, like I wanted to keep this even here and this as even across as possible where I join my blocks here. So you have to kind of square things up a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to do this. We're going to camouflage our sashing just because the sashing is beautiful on its own. Hi, Deborah. But I actually think it's more beautiful with the lace. So it honest to God, it hides all my seams that I put in here. Sorry, this side. This one here on these sides here, this is sewed down. Okay, so that camouflages your seams. And I just think it just ties all in together. So let's get started on making our blocks. So I've already have all my blocks laid out. I didn't, this is what I did. I just laid out a block. So I have all 4 of my blocks ready to go. I just cut pieces. And this is what this block's going to look like. So basically this is all I did. I got the lace trimmed, ready to go. Have all my pieces ready to sew onto my batting. And this is really got a little chill sat naked too much yesterday, but I'm good. Olivia, you're bad. She was sitting there. You were supposed to be sitting in your pajamas. Oh, by the way, I got all those blocks last night all finished. I got them all ironed and starched and all sewed together.
Yay.
Yeah, but I found out, I come to realize I have to make them into 3-inch blocks. So because of the starching and the pressing, it's kind of stretched the fabrics, made them a little wonky. But if I trim them down to 3-inch by 3-inch blocks with my ruler, they work out perfectly. Perfect. So that's what I need to do. All right, so here is the first block. And I just laid out my fabrics, you know, just to, there is the second block. And this is the lace I'll be using on this block. So there's block 2. And here is the third block. This lace is a little bit thicker in some of these, so that one goes like that. Kind of wrinkled my lace. So there is my third layout. I just laid out my fabrics. And there is the fourth layout. So it's going to go like that and like that. So there are all my blocks just laid out. And then, of course, you know, these are our backings. So we don't need those right now. But you do want to work on your blocks. So remember, for each block, you've got an 8x8 piece of batting. So I'm just going to take all this off. Set my lace off to the side here. And move these out of the way. What happened to that? It's stuck. There we go. Yeah, to move this one out of the way. Okay. So for each block, all I did was cut off pieces of, what size are these? 2-inch. I cut these strips down to 2 inches. And I am going to give them a little bit of a press because they got wrinkled. In fact, I better turn my iron on right now. They got wrinkled when I crumpled them into my box. because I'm just cool like that. I just throw things around. And you should give them a press anyways, because once you sew them onto your batting, you don't want to be ironing this. So all I did was took a 2-inch strip, which was a 2.5-inch strip, and I cut them down to 2 inches, and I cut a piece from corner to corner on one strip. Then I overlapped it 1/4 inch with the next strip, about 1/4 inch. You just want to overlap it a little bit, so when you sew it on, you fold it over, it's still going to fit. And then the same here, I overlapped a little bit, and I overlapped here, so that's going to give that one side. And then the same over here, I overlapped it and cut it to a length that I need, and here and here. So these are the pieces that I'm going to be using in this block. So I'm going to give these all a little bit of a press because I did wrinkle them. You could see this one looks like a cow chewed it and spit it out. This one's pretty wrinkled. So give all of your strips a little press before you sew them onto this batting, because you don't want to be ironing this batting. This is 100% cotton batting. You really don't want to be ironing it. So I'm just going to give all these a press, and then I'm going to sit them off to the side. Jeff, I left my water thing in there to fill my iron. Yeah, you want to add some more water and bring it to me, because I really need water in this iron. Okay, so that one I'm going to stick back on there because that's the very middle one. So that's going to go like that. I'll iron these two pieces. Yeah, my iron needs water for sure. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to fold your strip in half, the very middle strip. This will be the first strip down. The very middle strip. Thank you. I need to put some water in this iron. It's pretty empty. It seems that's all I ever do is put water in this iron. Okay, there we go. Now, what you want to do is take your strip and fold it in half and make a little crease right here. And I'm not going to iron this crease. I just want to see where the middle of that strip is, and you want to do it on both sides. So fold this over and just go down a little ways. Just depends how long or how big you cut your fabric. Okay. And then you're going to take that fold. So I think I'm okay there. The length, I want to make sure I got the length. You're going to fold it back a little bit, you know, and you can see where your fold is. You can see where the point is. Put your fold right at your point here, and that will get this piece centered for you perfectly. Okay? And then just fold that up and put a pin in it. So go across, fold it back. Oh, I think I hang on. Made it too short. I don't like that. So I'm going to fold this back again and make that perfect with my fold. The point. Fold this back a little bit. And I can see I need to go over. It's not lined up with the point. That's not lined up yet. Right to where the point is, and there we go. Put a pin in it. All right. And then you want to kind of make sure it's straight in the middle here. You don't have it bowing to one side. Okay. Then you're going to take your next longest strip and you're going to lay it directly over top of this strip, making sure that your seam, where when we sew this, that this overlaps and goes outside the edge of the batting. Okay, so hang on. See, I've cut these strips pretty short. I didn't want to waste any fabric because I'm scared I'm going to run out of fabric. So I'm just trying to be very generous on using fabric. Now, you're just going to carefully remove your pin. Make sure this is lined up. Stick a pin that it goes through both layers. And I'm just going to add another pin here. And then I'm going to remove this one. So that one's good. Just making sure it's lined up everywhere. So this one here, you really want to pin it well. These ones here. And then I'm going to pin it there, right at the where it joins. There we go. And then we're going to sew 1/4 inch, which I don't have my 1/4 inch foot on. Let's get it on. I forgot to put that on. It's always a good idea to use 1/4 inch foot. All right. Okay. Now you're going to sew 1/4 inch all the way down. Oh, shoot. I probably should have gave this a little press too because it's all wrinkled. There. And I need to rethread my machine. Okay. Now bring that up. There we go. Okay, so 1/4 inch. I wish I could bring my camera down so you guys could see. I'm going to try. I did do this last week. I just need Jeff to build me a different way of positioning my camera, because this way here, I need him to just build me out a thing, because I want to do my beading on this table because I have a lot of natural light in front of me.
Oh,
Yeah. Natural light is good. Okay. So I'm just going to start sewing off the edge. I'm not going to sew right directly start there. Just going to sew off the edge a bit. And then you're going to sew 1/4 inch. And I'm sewing at 2. 2.5 is the regular. 2 is a little harder to pull out if you do something wrong. I'm sewing right off. Okay. And then you're just going to take your piece and fold it over. And now that you've already pressed it, I'm just going to finger press it so it sits nice and flat like that. Take your next longest piece. You're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to line it up that it comes off the edge of your batting. Okay, so you don't want your piece down here. You want to make sure it hangs off of your batting over just a little bit. You don't have to have a lot. That way you don't have to waste a lot of fabric either. Okay? And then you're just going to pin this one in place like so. I'm lining it up with the edge of the gray piece that I've got down here. And now I'm going to start stitching right about where my fabric's cut off there. And I'm doing a 1/4 inch. Whoops, I went right off because I was looking at my pins. So we'll fix that. I don't know why it's doing this. String. Alright. So you could see it went off. I went off right here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but I went off. So I had to correct it and go back and continue sewing 1/4 inch because I want it to be all even. You don't even got to trim the threads there. You ain't going to see them. And then give this a little finger press. Like that. So just make them nice and flat. Don't iron them. So this one here is going to have this black piece which just fits on here because I was so diligent in cutting it off really short.
There we go.
As long as it reaches to the edge a little wee bit, and to me, I don't trust this, so I'm going to bring it down just a tiny bit. There we go. As long as it's hanging off that edge over the batting, I know I'm safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm really
You're
good at...
fine, Olivia. It's okay.
What?
She's apologizing for talking about beads during the quilting bee. I said, it's fine.
Oh yeah, I'm not worried about that.
You want to talk about beads and chat? Where's your hair?
Let's see if I ruined it. Ta-da! See, I did not. Just as long as something hangs off over the edge of this batting. So you can see right here, I just made it. So when I trim this off, my things are going to be flush. My pieces will be flush. Okay? So that is that. And this is the next piece that's going to go on here. So hang it off over, make sure a little bit's hanging off over there, a little bit over there, and then you're good to go. You could sew this one on. And try to flatten that piece out because you can't iron it. You shouldn't iron it. That just wouldn't be smart. And then you're going to sew it a 1/4 inch. And I always start off the fabric. And then you're going to fold that piece over and finger press it with your nail. Like that. So there's a little bit of the tip showing. I'm not going to fret over that because that's going to get hidden. So now you want to carry on with this piece, putting it over top. And this one hangs over just nicely. Like that. Put a pin in it. I highly suggest you pin these to keep anything from shifting on your batting. Or I don't know. If you don't, then you deal with that problem. But I'm suggesting you pin. I hate using pins, but you have to use them sometimes. Even though it's such a short distance, you may think, I don't need to pin that. I just have a short ways to go. But that little short ways still can shift. Ouch. Okay. So there's that. And then we will add our last little piece in. Even though this is a little piece, you'd think, oh, you don't have to pin it. I would pin it. You don't need 3 pins. You can put 2 pins. One there and one here.
You can slide on you without thinking about it.
What?
I said, yeah, because it'll slide. And you won't think it will, but it'll slide.
Yeah, because you're working with 1, 2, 3 layers. And I don't have a walking foot on here, so you're welcome to use a walking foot, but I don't plan on using a walking foot. Okay, so now we're going to take our lace because we're done our whole block. Beautiful. You're going to take a piece of lace if you want. You don't have to, and you're going to put it down here. I could actually cut these too big. And you're going to stitch in the ditch. So I am going to stick 3 pins in here because my lace will shift. And I want to stitch in the ditch because I can see right through this lace. I can see where my stitching has to go. Okay.
Right, that's the good thing about lace. You just follow it through.
Exactly.
And yours has that little line through it, which is even better.
Yes. But it's not straight, believe me. It's not straight.
You'll have to show that square again for the ones that have come in that haven't seen your new edition.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that anyway. They'll see it eventually.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because I'm going to show them how to sew this into a block. Right
That's
now,
right.
what we're doing is we're making individual units. You need 4 of these individual units to create one block. Okay, so this is individual unit. And for those of you that just came in, this is what you're making. Oh, it's kind of close here, but this is what your goal is. 4 units to make one block. Then I'll show you how to sew it together with lace on it. So now you're going to tack down your lace. And I'm going to stitch in the ditch. Not that I like to do this, but it's the best. You don't have to be perfect. And you know why? Because this is on the inside of the backing. You ain't going to see it ever. It's inside sandwiched between your quilt. So even if you don't get the ditch, who cares?
That's the good thing about flip as you go.
That's right.
Tanya says that is so pretty.
Thank you, Tana. I hate leaving pins lay around because as soon as I move a block or something, I send those pins flying. Okay, so now what we've done is stitch down. We have literally stitched this down, but see, it's like this, but we're going to quilt this square now. Okay, so you know, it looks like this. When we quilt this and stitch on each side of these, that's not going to move around. And what happened? Who did that? Kathy did. Thank you, Karen. Okay, so this is done. All we have to do now is turn this over and get our cutting, our rotary cutter or whatever you've got to use. And we're going to trim this block all the way around and making sure it stays 8 inches. So you got to keep this block 8 inches. So I'm moving it over, and I'm keeping this straight. Whoops. And you could see when you run over something, sometimes it stretches the batting. So trim it off. You want to keep your block square. So get rid of that. Turn this. So if your batting is not perfectly straight, you can trim it off. That just means it's just stretched with your sewing with the feed dogs. So I know this is a straight line, and I'm going to line my ruler up with that straight line. I'm going to line it up at the top, and I can see a little bit of batting that has to be trimmed. And I'm talking very little, like a hair. You want to keep your blocks square. And batting sticking out over there. so it's going to get hawked off. Get back down. And I can already see this batting is stretched, but it gets stretched from sewing on it. As long as your ruler lines up here, lines up across the top, that little extra batting has to go bye-bye.
Yeah.
I'm not saying to cut a whole big chunk off. You don't need to do that, or your block isn't going to be 8 inches. And there's your finished block after it's all trimmed. It should be 8 by 8. So let's see if it's 8 by 8. Not quite. It's 7 7/8 by 7 7/8 all the way around. Perfect. So that's what's going to come to when you trim it. So now this is ready to be quilted. So this is, remember, it's quilt as you go. And we want to line this up 1 inch overlap, 1 inch, leaving 1 inch all the way around for your border of your gray square or whatever color you're using. Let me pull this off because it kind of camouflages with my cutting mat. So you want 1 inch all the way around. So to do that, I line it up there, which I know is 1 inch. And I line it up here, and I know it's 1 inch. So if it's 1 inch there, 1 inch there, then it's 1 inch all over. So you want to pin this now. You want to pin it in place before stitching it. So put pins kind of everywhere, because now you're quilting this. You can do all over design quilting. You can do every little heart's content. I'm not doing that. I'm just going to do, oops, that's not an extra pin. I'm just going to do straight lines like I done on the other blocks. I kind of think I want one right about here, I think. There. And one here. Actually, there should be 2 here. I want to put 2 because put 1 here just to hold my lace down, that's all. Okay, so you got your 1/4 inch foot on. Yay! Woo! 1/4 inch. Who was here earlier? Yeah, Mary. Where's Mary? She was here.
She was here at the beginning.
Yep.
Is she doing this? Maybe she's sewing.
I thought she was doing this.
She's probably in the zone.
Yep.
Trying to
Oh.
sew her stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so what you want to do is get out your disappearing ink marker, and you're going to draw lines extending your seams into your backing. Okay, because the reason for that, I just think it looks a lot better. You don't have to do this part, but I like to do it, so I just line my ruler up here with the seam and carry on that seam. Because I extend my stitching lines right out past the block. I want it to be in the gray. This is especially helpful for people that aren't going to put the lace on the outside like I am. That kind of hides it. But this looks really nice.
Mary says, sewing, sewing, sewing. Good for you, Mary.
Good for you, Mary. So you can see I'm making lines extended on a diagonal. Here and here. So you want to just follow your lines. Oh, I hate doing this top one. Like that. And there and there. Okay. And plus it's easier to follow this. Oh yeah, and we want to do this one too. Remember? it turns out to be 1.5 inches between here once the stitching's done. So you want to go 1.25 inches, I think. Wait, so it'll be 1/4 inch there, 1/4 inch. It'll be 1 inch. No. I'm going to wait till I get my stitching done before I do that. Okay, so I'm going to start stitching right up top here. So I'm going to hold my thread because I don't want it to be, and I'm going to stitch on that line. My guide is on the line. I'm going to pull out the pin. All right. It's got stuff in the way here. Okay, that one's done. So I'm just going to carry on stitching on this side right now. And this is what's going to help hold down your lace now. Okay, so now my lace has only got this much, so when it washes, it'll kind of ruffle it. It'll be really pretty. And then we'll go on this side. Oops, back up. Now,
Ruby,
what?
Olivia wants to know where you got that disappearing pin.
On Amazon. It's from Amazon.
Is it a certain brand that she needs, or just a disappearing pin?
Just disappearing ink. Okay, so we're gonna make, we're gonna make a one from this seam here. I'm gonna draw another line, but this time it's gonna be 1.25 inches away from this seam. So that will make it even all through my block. So I drew another line there, 1 1/4 inch away from your seam. So I'm going to do that on this side as well, because my ink is already starting to disappear. Okay. All right. So there you go. So now we're going to carry on. And let's finish all of our ones on this side first. So you're going to go on both sides of your seams. You're going to have that do that. Whoa. On the back, this is what you see so far. You see your stitching all the way to the end, like this. Don't worry about these pieces here sticking, these little thready babies here. Don't worry about those. We will cut those off later, okay? But stitch all the way off your fabric. Last weekend, when I was sewing the lace on, I had a pin camouflaged under the lace and I busted my needle. So I drove right over top of it. So we don't want to do that.
I'd said that, and it affected my pen, but not my needle. It was so loud. Scared me to death.
Yeah, it would.
Chopped my pen in half.
Well, it didn't break my pin because I hit it right on that plastic ball. That's what my needle hit and snapped that needle right off. So kind of remember where you put your pins. Okay, so now you're going to sew this on this last line that we drew here. You're going to follow it along so that your stitching is even all throughout your quilt. Okay, and I didn't do this one here, so I want to, that's the one I just drew. Where did my thread go? Right here. Just want to hold on to my thread or it makes a bird nest, and you don't want that. And it does it very easily on one layer of fabric. Okay. Turn it around. So now you've got your quilting lines all done on one side of your drawn lines. Now you're going to do it on the other side, so just flip it all around, start in the middle. I always stress to start in the middle. Come on, where are you? I like to hold this thread because if you don't hold your needle thread, you're going to get a bird nest because this is super thin, just one layer of fabric here. So if you hold your thread, you'll get a nice straight line. And there you go. Now we have two lines here. That means you've done them there. Okay, carry on. So now we're gonna watch your thing your lace don't get pulled up. Okay. So now this side is complete. I've got all my quilting lines. That's all we're doing for this one block. I don't know how I got a bird nest there. See? It's very easy. My thread just got all tangled up. You don't need bird nests. I'm not sure why I did that. So I hold my thread. All right, we are going to cut all those threads off, so don't panic about that. Right. two more quilting lines to go, and this baby is done. And there we go. Okay. So now you got all these threads hanging off, but flip it around, push all your threads, and we're going to trim them off now. Oh boy. That goes there. That goes there. You got to kind of pull your threads off the front and pull them off to the back, and then just trim them all together. And then your block is your unit is complete. You should have an inch around, all the way around. Eventually, all of these purple lines just disappear for me. I don't have to worry about anything because they do disappear. So who likes this block? And I don't know, is it the same as any other one? Nope, it's not, because there's nothing like this in the middle. So who thinks this is nice and easy? Hi, Rajul. Anybody working on one of these?
That's Mary. We know Mary is.
Yep, Mary's sewing, sewing, sewing. And that's how the back looks. And it pays to sew off the edge, holding your thread, and sew onto it, holding your thread, I mean. So yeah, this is how your quilting should look. Laura is too good. Laura and Mary, are you guys using the same fabrics you did last week? This is Christmas fabric, of course, guys. So whoever doesn't know what I'm doing, I'm making a quilt as you go quilt along and using a Christmas fabric. I always make everything look easy, don't I?
Yes, you do.
I don't mean to do that. So I don't even have to square up around the outside of my edge because, like I said, we measured it. It should still be 1 inch all the way around. So holding this ruler against 1 inch, perfect, right there. And it should be 1 inch over here. Perfect.
Phyllis says, where'd she go? I lost her. I do like it and learning a lot, but not sewing.
Which is not sewing.
Deborah's watching for now. She'll be sewing, sewing, sewing later. Karen says lots of options.
Yes, and that's the whole idea, is somebody teaching you some technique or something. That's what I do. I watch somebody do something and I like to do it my own way because I always see all different possibilities in things that I create. So whether it's a paper crafting or jewelry or this, I have to put my take on it. because I just see something that looks better to me. So other people
Right.
may want to use this techniques, but they want to do something different because they see a whole different opportunity to do that in this particular block. Hey, if you can do that, I I encourage you to do that, and you go for it, and let me see what you do.
Use your own creativity and imagination.
Yes, because
You
I
come
may
up with
learn
all kinds of beautiful things.
yeah, and I may learn a thing or two from all of you. Can you all hear Kathy okay? Or do I need to move her closer to my um whatchamacall that thing? My webcam?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Guys?
Can you hear Kathy okay, guys? I stopped doing it on my computer because it just echoes and people have a really hard time. It sounds like they got their heads stuck up their butts.
Oh, in that case, Ruby, you fancy tutorialing toilet paper earrings. Olivia.
You don't want to hear something funny what I did, guys? I'm so sick and tired. Honestly, I am fed up, so fed up that every time I go into my news feed, I'm reading on Facebook how they went to this mall, that, blah, blah, blah. No toilet paper, like the world is buying out the toilet paper. So I don't know if you've seen those toilet paper earrings that are being passed around that people are making. Well, I posted them in the Thunder Bay group that I'm in, and I said, this is for whoever wants a pair of these earrings to remind you that you thought toilet paper on a virus scare was more important to feed your children than groceries. So message me, I'll make you a pair for $100. Gladly bead them for you. And that's what I said. I'm dead serious. Because to me,
Crazy.
it is because sanitizer, like hand sanitizer, Lysol wipes, anything to do with antibacterial things and toilet paper are all gone. You can't even get them on Amazon. You get them on Amazon, you're going to pay $50, $60 because people are just being stupid. But that is how pathetic. Now our world is turning into a virus pandemic. Fill your house up full of groceries, guys. That's what you need to feed your kids, not ass wipe. You ain't going to need ass wipe if you ain't eating because you ain't going to poop. What do you need to wipe for after that? Like, I don't know where people's minds or heads are, but somebody started this crap with toilet paper and it literally went viral throughout the world. I think that the toilet paper shortage has spread faster than this virus going around. And it actually makes me sick to see this every time I go into my frigging newsfeed. It's all about how much people bought out all the toilet paper. Is the way to stop this virus is for everybody to use hand sanitizer and so on if they're hoarding, and it's just going to spread faster. I know. This is. I'm telling you, I'm actually so fed up about it, and it is true. It is true. There is no toilet paper to be found in Thunder Bay. Jeff went to 3 or 4 stores yesterday, and not one of them had toilet paper. I was like, well, good thing we're not out of toilet paper. Honestly, it's just, oh. And now we have businesses in the city that are starting to close their doors, like our insurance business. Yeah, me too. I'm so sick of hearing about it. But they're starting to close down their doors and not allow people go into their business. They have to make an appointment. So I said to Jeff, so what they're going to do is they're going to set up this big hazmat suit and everything, and then you can come in and sign your papers. Like, you know. I don't know. I am such a bitch when it comes to those news feeds because yesterday I went off on someone about it and then I went off on in our community here because I'm just sick and tired of the rejects saying that they got no toilet paper And I'm like commenting, saying, "Well, why don't you buy food and shove the toilet paper right up your ass?" You know, because that's just the way I am. It's getting on my nerves.
Yeah, it's just kind of too ridiculous.
I mean, I don't understand where people's heads are. Why is toilet paper more important than filling your cupboards and fridges with canned foods, non-perishable goods in case you are quarantined to your homes?
Right.
Yeah, why are you getting toilet paper? Why is that the first priority on your list? Because it's definitely not on mine. I have a lot of clothes.
No.
I have a lot of old clothes that if it did come to that and I couldn't leave my house for months, which I doubt it'll come to that, but there's always rags you can cut up, use, reuse, wash them. You can jump into the shower that's right beside your toilet. I don't get it. You can't eat rags and you can't eat toilet paper. I just
Exactly.
I'm just not getting this message. I'm not understanding this.
And if you're not eating, you're not going to need to use the toilet.
So I would think, you need some Tylenol. You're going to need things like that in case you have a headache or you need it for pain. Get your medications all in advance as much as you can. But toilet paper, that's your priority. Okay. Let's get toilet paper. I'll be right back. I'm Oh my god, I don't even want to get into it anymore because I'm just gonna lose my shit. I am. It's getting to me. Well, that's what it looks like. It's scary looking. All right. So now I'm going to sew my next 3 all at once. So I'm going to prep 3 at a time just to speed this up a little bit. Let's put some glasses on. All right, so I'm going to take these pieces off and the lace, put it at the bottom because that's where that one's going to go, that strip, and then these 3 pieces will go on one side. So there's that one. That's going to go on one side. I probably should iron them. I can tell I already need to. So that's that one. So put these out of my reach for now. So on the backs of these, I want to write on them like I done before. That's 1. That's 2. Yeah, these are really wrinkled. That's on one side. And I'm going to turn my iron on to iron that. To iron these. There we go. Okay. This is block 3. Okay. So this one here is all done. There's that one. There's that one. And there's that one. Okay. I think they all got pressed. Yep, all 3 of them. Okay. And that's that. There, there, and there. All right, so block 3, 2, 1. All right. These are the ones you have to fold. The very first one, you have to put a crease in it. And you don't even see this crease after you've done sewing it on. You don't see it at all. Okay, make sure it hangs down a bit. So fold it back, line it up with your point of your fabric, like that. Put a pin in it. pin. And put a pin. So this is block 1. So we will grab one side for block 1 and we will make sure it goes right outside. And pin it. And this one still has the selvage on, but I'm not fretting over that because you can't see it. Okay, so I'm pulling out these pins. Where's the other one? Huh. You know what? I'm going to stick 2 more pins in here. Because I just don't trust this to move on me. Alright, that's ready to be sewed. Let's move this out of the way. That over. Yeah, but it takes time to disappear though, Olivia. Bless me. Thank you.
Disinfect your screen.
Yeah. I haven't been around anyone.
That's what people will be doing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. She sneezed on her screen.
Can that get to me? Oh my gosh. I need toilet paper.
That's the extent of it. Okay, so this is block 2. So we're going to need one from this side. Let's get there. Come on. There. There. Where's that other pin? And there. That one's ready to be sewed. And then we'll do this one. Okay. Now, if you are making this, you would have ironed your batting before you cut it. I did iron all my batting before I cut it. There we go. And now we need this one. Wait. Oh yeah, we do. So it comes off the side. So I'm going to pin in the middle here first because I can push the fabric so it stays flat. Pushing it out. There we go. So that is block 3. All right. Okay. And that's how well this picks up at all. Doesn't. Okay. Finger press it. That side's done. Now we need to pin that, and that's block 3. So that's, well, that one. All right. Now, going to line this up so a little bit sticks out from here. Block 2. Okay. Really, Tiki? That's Tiki. There. And I'm just going to pin this on right away so I don't lose track of my sides. What color goes where. I had them all in order. So I'm just going to do it this way. That's block 1. Yep. Block 2. So what you want to do is you kind of want all your strips to be just kind of mixed up. You know, with a jelly roll, you're going to get a lot of pretty different designs. Some of they'll be the same design, but just different colors. And I've got a few like that. Okay. I need to put that pin cushion there so I can pick up these pins easier without getting poked. Okay. Block 3. Block 2. That one's done. You know what? I'm going to switch these two because that's kind of black on black to me. Oh, I can't. Never mind. This is a short one. It'll still look nice. Why can't I? Dummy! I'm going to do that one there and this one here. So. This one was cut pretty short. But that's okay, as long as it meets there. And this one here. Okay, Is anybody asking anything? Ruby, you have been sitting a while. Have you stood up and drank? Yep, I did get up for a minute there, Olivia. Thank you. My body tells me when I need to stand up. So there. That is one. This is block 2. Let's get her sewed. And I love how you're always, ouch, looking out for me, Olivia. That's so sweet. Ow. This one kind of needs some black. So I'm going to trade this off for a black piece. Because there's too much gray and red in this one and no black. So I'm going to get a piece of black in my box here. Just cut a piece of black. Cut that salvage piece off. And I'll just keep this red one for the next block. There we go. There. Okay, let's get her sewed out. Pins. Now, pretty. Now I like that better. So this is block 1. So this is my block 1 lace. This is beautiful. I don't know. There's no right way or wrong way, really. Okay. That is block 2. That's the right way. That's the right way. Okay. I'm going to have to kind of judge this one, that it's in the middle. Okay. Isn't it beautiful with the lace on it, guys? Ruby, have question for you. What kind of blade did you put in your cutter? I have a Fisker's blade and it won't fit. The hole is round on Fisker's and cutter has cutouts in it. Ah, really? Why would they make their blades different? Mine are, these are actually ones that are Olfa or China blades. The China blades fit all the Olfas. Maybe Fiskars did that just so you can buy Fiskars blades. That was pretty dirty of them to do that because these are all supposed to be universal fitting blades. And I buy my blades on Amazon and I know they're from China because they don't have any Olfa written on it. But they still cut lovely. So that was pretty dirty of them to do that. I don't have a Fiskars cutter, I don't think. I might. In my drawer. I should check. I might have a Fiskars cutter in there. But that's pretty dirty of them if they did that. Because you would think most blades would just be universal on all rotary cutters. I cannot believe they did that. That's the right way. And that's the right way. Yeah, because I buy my blades on Amazon. They come in a... These ones are called Made in China. Best Gill. And mine came in a package like that. No, these are Fiskars. And if I had Fiskars blades, they would have fit on my other ones. Hi, Martha. So I'm not too sure why your blades are different. Because I did have Fisker ones. And it looks like I've used them. Yep, these are all used blades. Fiskers. They all have the same notches. They should fit. They should fit. Huh. Weird. I think I do have a Fisker's cutter. Okay. I'm pretending I'm stitching in the ditch. But you can't tell anyway. Done. Done. Whoa, I sewed over that pin. That was very lucky of me.
Good morning.
Hi, Karen.
Hi.
Just wake up?
A little bit ago, yeah, I got lady outside and coffee's perfect.
Oh, good. There we go.
Hi, Karen. Hi, hon. Oh, hold on. Okay. Just wake up. Oh.
All right. Let's get our cutter out.
Good morning.
Good morning, Martha.
Good morning. Oh, poop. Come on, get down.
Can you all hear each other good?
Yeah. I hear Karen good.
Okay, so you hear everything on the live good too?
Well, now that we're in here, you sound like you're in a small tunnel. Oh, she sounds good to me. But as long as she's okay on YouTube, she's good to go.
Okay.
So yeah, let's say okay, it's all good.
Well, thank you, Martha.
Hi, so are all your squares you're doing going to be from point to point, or
Yes.
have you got some of them going side to side?
Nope, they're all point to point so that when we make our block, which I'll show you how it's going to turn out, you'll see the pattern. It's gorgeous. It's really gorgeous.
Hi, Regina Hobbs, and welcome to Ruby's channel.
Hi, Regina.
She says, just happened upon your podcast. Lucky me, I love your blog.
Oh, great. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. So here's the one block.
Hi, Regina.
Here's our second block. So you could see I don't make any of my blocks. Oh, shoot. Those two are going to match up. We don't want that. So this one's going to end up over here when we make our blocks. And so there's two done. But this one's got to be quilted like this one onto our backing. So this one's all done. Now we got to do these three onto our backings. So that one is done. Oops. And now I'm just squaring up this block and trimming off all this excess fabric.
Hi, Deborah. Hi, Rachel. Morning. Oh, my coffee has stopped working. I'll be right back. I'm going to take this pill first.
Yeah, I just had to go find my aspirins I brought, or I bought.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the weather gonna be like today? Probably poopy as the other day.
All right. I like when they line up on both ends, and then we just trim off the excess. That
Ooh,
means
a
they're
high
good.
of 41.
Ooh, this one?
Oh.
I don't know. I love this one. This one is so pretty. I don't know. I just love this one. They're all different. They're all different.
Pretty much anything Christmassy I like.
This is Christmassy, Martha. You know that. We're doing it. I'm doing a Christmas quilt. I don't know what the rest of the nation is doing. But I'm doing Christmas. Merry
Shirley
Christmas.
Brown. Yes, she did make jewelry.
Yep, I sure did. And I still am.
How a lot of us found Ruby was through her jewelry, through her beading. Oh.
And I still make jewelry. I just haven't done a video in a while. But I am planning on doing the ones that I created. Uploading them. Or making them, I mean, not uploading them. I haven't even got them made yet. I just got the jewelry made. Well, not all of it. It's a series. And I ain't got it all finished. All right.
You've been beading behind the scenes?
Yeah, I was.
Ah.
All right, let's see how that one turned out. Ooh, that one's even pretty too. I just like all the different laces. It's so pretty. Actually, those two are the same. Same lace. All right, now we got to put these on our backings. And then we got to get them quilted. And this is what I wanted to show everyone. When you put your 4 units together, so these 4 units will make one block. In between here, I've got my sashing with my lace over top of it to camouflage my stitching. That is the reason I did this. Oh, Shirley, I'll be back. Don't worry, I'm not gone forever. And look at how pretty the lace looks on top of the sashing. Wow. So this, yeah, do you see why I don't want to turn them the other way, Martha? I need them all to go on a diagonal. And even the back is beautiful. Like all the quilting on the back is gorgeous too.
Yeah,
So this is
that's
what,
pretty block.
yeah, this is what you would call quilt as you go, because this means once I sew these blocks together, that's it. There is no putting this, rolling all of this all up and shoving it under my machine, because all I'm going to be doing is sewing a one row, one bulk of these into my machine. No problem, because you got to stitch your rows together no matter what. So yeah, this is how it's going to turn out. But I did not stitch this down yet, but I want to show you how to do this, because the way I did it over here, I learned a trick or two. And I've got threads everywhere here. I hate that. I really do hate these small threads poking through. Anyway, I'm going to show you guys how to do all that. But first of
I
all,
like the quilt as you go, because you got your backing on at the same time. I like it.
well, and it's easy, Martha. It's like anybody can do this.
Well, that's why I'm watching, honey.
Okay, yeah, because if you've got a small throat in your machine, if like mine is 18-inch, this is a quilt, it's called a long arm quilting machine by Juki. And it's long arm because it's got a nice throat distance here. I could shove a whole king size quilt rolled up in here. But on my other machine, my Kenmore, I cannot do that. I can barely fit a crib quilt rolled up inside of the throat, because the throat is only about this big of space.
Yeah, mine's a small throat.
Yeah, so this here
Mine's a
is,
short throat. Oh, boo-hoo.
yeah, this here is excellent, excellent to make on a small domestic machine. So that way you've got this, you've got your batting, so you have your fabric pieces already sewed to your batting, and you have your backing, and it's all quilted. And then it gets stitched together where your seams show no raw edges. And then the front is finished and the back is finished. So now you don't got to roll this all up, shove it under your machine and quilt it. No, no, no. I know,
Did you
sure.
see what Deborah said?
No, what did Deborah say? So you
She
are
said
covering up the...
covering up the sashing.
I am, Deborah. Not really, though, because you can see my sashing still gray. Like if I didn't have any sashing there, then this lace would stand out even more. But it's not really covering up my sashing. You can still clearly see the sashing is there. Only thing this lace is doing, and you don't have to do this, but I love it, is I'm camouflaging my stitches. So I have not stitched this sashing down yet. And I want to show you how I did this, because if you look back here, I have no stitching line here yet. I've got my stitching lines here because that is what I did here, is stitch this down. Let me just show it. I don't want to confuse you guys. Don't want to get ahead.
Yeah.
Let's just stay at this.
Yeah, don't get it confusing.
We're at this step. Let's stay at this step. Okay, so let's get our backing piece. So you have an 8.
I like the lace on it, though.
Yeah.
It covers it up, right?
Yes. The 8
Welcome back, Kathy.
8. Welcome back, Kathy. You have an 8 by 8 square here, and you have a 10 by 10 piece of backing. The sole purpose of your backing to be bigger is, this is what we're going to make our
the circle of doom.
Our sashing with, our binding. You're going to bind your whole quilt. Everything's all going to be done in one. So now when you lay your...
Hold on, Ruby. You got the circle of doom going on.
What's that?
That means that you're frozen up for a minute.
That's got to be your end, because she hasn't frozen on mine.
And I'm not frozen on mine.
Yeah, you need to
Okay,
F5.
well, I'm going to refresh.
Check yours,
F5.
Martha. All right, so we have
Oh, Lord.
an inch over there. So there should be an inch all the way around, and I can already see this is not an inch on this side. So let me just pull this over.
Fantastic.
We have inch.
Really?
An inch there now. So I'm just making sure I have an inch all the way around between the fabric, between this and this. So make sure there's inch here, inch, inch, inch. And then you're going to pin it in place so it doesn't shift or move on you. Definitely pin it down. Pin it here. Put one here. I'm actually going to pin this. No, I don't need to. I just need to put a pin there and a pin here. And that one's good. Ready to be quilted. And I'm just using straight lines for quilting lines. I'm not doing anything fancy on it. Not these. I don't want to do anything fancy because I have people following along and they're not going to be able to do that unless they practiced. So, and I can already see it. Well, yeah, and I mean, nobody's practiced free motion quilting, so I'm not going to do that to anybody.
Shirley says she loves her Juki.
Yes. I love mine too, Karen. Oh, I love my Juki.
I'm just going to have to make do with my brother.
Well, there's nothing wrong with your machine either.
No, there is not. I really love her.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you do. So get using her. You've been told.
I've been told.
You've been told.
I'm starting to feel a lot better than what I was, let me tell you.
Oh, good.
Sound better.
You even sound better is right.
Do I?
Yes. Okay.
Because I was feeling pretty rough.
You sounded like really tired and worn out. You sounded like you got a little more pep in you now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's starting to take its course.
Good. That's that
Which is
chemo kicking in on you during the week. Sometimes it just takes time for that to kick in and it wears you right down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. And it doesn't take much to wear me down these days.
No, well, no. All right. We are all pinned and ready to quilt this. As you can see, there's no quilting lines on our back at all yet. We haven't done anything with this. So we got to quilt all three of these precious things. But first of all, we need to draw lines. And I like to go, now look at this. For those of you that are not understanding this, I am stitching right off my fabric, right from start. See? But I have drawn lines here with my purple disappearing ink that is eventually going to just completely disappear. You're going to draw lines from your seam outward. You don't have to do this, but I do because I'm going to tell you why. This is why I'm doing this. When you do fold your edges over to make your sashing, okay, if you stopped your stitching right here, it all shows all the way around. If you carry your stitching over top, like here, when you fold this over now, your stitching, your very end of your stitching is going to be hidden inside this seam when you do your sashing, okay? So carry your stitching right over so you don't have, like if you just start stitching on this edge here, you flip this over, you're going to see all your stitching where it stops, starts. You're going to see bird nests. You're going to see all that crap. Don't do that. Don't be lazy. And this is why. Because you see this edge? All right. See my edge here? When I fold this over, so this will be the say, do you see how my stitching carries right on over here and it's tucked inside? So you see, even if you got a bird's nest there, you ain't going to see it because it's going to get hidden inside, but you will certainly see it if you've only stitched from here down. Okay? Remember that. This is why I am doing it this way. I don't like all the stitches, all the little bird nests and where your thread starts, where your thread finishes. If you just carry it all the way through, when we hide this, it looks very professional on the outside. Okay?
Right.
Does that
Because
make
you
does
have
that
these
make
stones.
sense to all of you? Why I do this the way I do it? Some of you are
Yeah.
probably shaking your head like, why is she drawing those lines and why is she doing that? That is why. Because if you start stitching right here, okay, see my pencil, my purple dot? You start stitching right here and just do your lines only on the block. When you flip this over, just pretend that that purple dot, that's what's going to show. You're stitching where you started it and where you ended it. It's going to look stupid. I already tried it. I don't like it. So I found a cure for
Okay.
that.
So I have a question because you're not in sync with what you're saying. You
Right,
know.
right.
You know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
we're sewing completely off onto your gray. To me it looks gray.
Yep, it is.
The backing. So when we roll it over, that seam line is still there, right?
Yes. But when you
Okay.
get in sync with me, the seam line is still there,
Okay.
but it shows on your sashing. It'll show on your border. When we do our binding, it shows on your binding. But the thing is all of your stitching is hidden. Now, if I was to just start stitching from this little dot onto here, you're going to see my stitching where I started and where it ended all over the place. It looks ridiculous. It does. So start your stitching up here. This is why you're drawing these lines, because it helps you guide your foot to keep sewing straight in with this seam here. Okay, does that make sense to you? So
Yeah.
if you start here, you're going to go all the way down following your seam here for your 1/4 inch, and you're going to go right off the fabric here. It just works out way better. It's way nicer and it's more professional looking and it looks finished.
So you're saying to start in a 1/2 inch instead of do the whole inch, right?
No, I'm saying to start right at the edge of your fabric and go all the way down off your fabric. So you're going to
Okay.
continue with your diagonal line. I'm just looking at my seam here. You know where I joined the two pieces together here? That's the seam I'm following. So that's the line. I'm lining my ruler up with the edge of that seam and I'm just drawing a line here and a line there. You see? So I can start here, and when I get into this line, I'm still going to be on a perfect diagonal.
Right.
And then when you get to this last corner piece, from this seam here, you're going to measure out 1 1/4 inch from your seam. So I'm going to line the 1 1 1/4 inch here. I've got it all lined up all the way up to that. And I'm going to draw a line 1 1/4 inch away from the seam on this last little piece. So you're going to do that all the way across your block. You're going to draw your diagonal little lines in your, and use a pencil. You can use anything really, just don't use a black marker. If you use a pencil and do light marks, everything gets turned on the inside, so nobody's going to see that. This is the inside. But if you do it on the other side, yeah, you will see it. So I'm just drawing my diagonal lines right across. Following where I join the two pieces together, that's where I'm lining my ruler up. And I'm pressing it here, here, and there you go. And then you have to draw one extra line for your last little corner piece because there's no seam here because you never joined another piece to it. Okay, that's why you don't have another seam. So you just take your ruler 1 1/4 inch away from your seam, away from your diagonal line, lined up on your diagonal, press down. That pin is making my ruler go bye-bye, and just draw a diagonal line right. Whoops, that went crooked.
Don't go crooked.
No. So you have an extra little diagonal line here, but you need that diagonal line or it looks funny without these. you're just going to have those and it looks dumb. So you got to stay consistent, because once you fold this over and this over, you've got all your stitching all nicely and everything's all hidden inside of your corner there. Okay?
And everybody must understand what you're saying, because there is no questions, and Yvonne said yes it does. So
Okay, so if anybody does have questions, go ahead and ask me them now so I can help you understand how to do this and the reason we're doing it this way. You got to be very careful when you're stitching coming off of your fabric, because you're stitching onto your fabric from a bias, on a bias, you know, and it's a thin one layer, so it tends to want to just go wonky real quick. So just go slow going over this area and then go slow going off of it, because it does shift really easily. Just this single piece of fabric that you're working on here. I gotta go potty. I gotta stand up because my legs are hurting and I'm half on and half off my chair because I'm uncomfortable.
Bad girl.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say something, Martha. But yeah, this is gonna turn out. This is the whole purpose. You're quilting the whole square. These two little tiny corners ain't gonna matter. Promise you. There isn't enough here. This part here, if you were to sew another seam over here, it's gonna be hidden inside. So no worries. Yeah. Ooh, I gotta get up. Ow-ee, ow-ee.
My quilts will now be quick as you go.
Yes.
yeah.
You don't have to worry about it.
Nope.
With the lace and stuff she's sewing, you'll get more options.
Ooh, I cut my thumb.
Chicken please.
Yes. What you doing, my little love? Baby girl. Come on. Hey. I hear the pitter patters of the little feet. I hear the pitter patters of the little feet.
She coming to check on her mommy. That might have been me too. I don't know. Oh. There are squirrels all over my yard today, shaking their tails at me.
You know what's crazy is, like, every morning last couple days, there's a robin that will come to the back of my car and try to fly up the window and slide down and fly up the window 3 or 4 times, bounce around the top of the car, and then he tries to run into the window of my front room. Every time.
Huh.
It's been a different bird every time.
I doubt that.
Weird.
Yeah. I've had several birds. I've got a it's a huge bay window in my living room, and there's been a couple birds, they've lost their life for it. Fly smack into that sucker.
Yeah, well, this one don't really fly into it. It just, like, touches it in midair, and then, hey, and off it goes. But for your bay window, put some, like, sun catchers or something in there, and they won't do that much anymore.
Bye, Tanya.
Can somebody tell my family to quit bothering me today? Mary's family, leave her alone. Go away.
She's
Did they
in
hear me, Mary?
cooking class.
Bye, Tanya. Maybe hitting the window is giving the bird brain damage. They don't smack into it. That's what's really weird. It's like, as if maybe I had a bird feeder there, how they slightly, come up to the window to try to get in it. I don't know. It's really weird.
Mary, tell them you are in class with the best sewer online. Just tell them that, because nobody's better than Ruby. And I'm
Put a
not.
sign on your back.
Right.
In class, do not disturb.
I'll try. Do you need batting, Sharon? What do you need? You'll need batting to make the blocks, hon.
Sounds
yeah.
like rock
That's
art.
what goes in between your top. We sew the strips down onto the batting, and then we put the backing on top of the batting. So batting is sandwiched in between your top and your backing on. What are you laughing at, Martha?
Mary says, made no difference.
Lock them.
What
Lock
made
them out of the room, Mary.
what made no difference? What is she talking about?
I told her to put a sign on her back, in class, do not disturb. She said I did, but it made no difference.
Oh, that's what she's. I thought she was talking about the quilt squares.
What kind of batting are you using, Ruby?
100% cotton batting.
Yeah, you need 100%.
Yep.
It's the real thin.
Yeah, it looks like this. It's the
Sharon was wanting to know.
nice flat cotton batting. It's not the fluffy stuff. It's the thicker cotton. That's why you iron it. Iron it before you cut it. Don't iron it after you cut it. It's going to shrink. So don't do that. I can't even stress
that.
that.
You have to iron your batting too?
Well, when you get it out of the package, Martha, it's so wrinkled that it's impossible to cut it nice and square.
Because they compress it.
Okay.
Yeah, so if they pressed it...
There should be a list, Sharon, in the event. Isn't there a list?
Yes, there is. I'll show it to you. I have it printed off. It's right here. It looks like this. It's in the group. It's the materials. It explains what we're doing somewhat, other than what you have to watch on the video. But it tells you need 48 10-inch backing squares. You need 48 8-inch cotton batting squares, 1 jelly roll, 2.5-inch strips cut approximately 3 yards of lace, which is optional. And over here I explained that I will be cutting my 2.5-inch strips down to 2-inch strips, so I have more of a variety on my 8-inch blocks. You're welcome to leave yours just as they are, and Karen is leaving hers just as they are, 2.5-inch strips. I used 2-inch strips so I could fit more pieces and get more color on my square. That's the only reason I cut mine down to 2 inches, because now these are 1.5-inch strips. If you leave it 2.5, you're going to have 2 inches between. So you're going to have an extra 1/2 inch bigger strips. And the smaller one here on the corner will be basically almost cut right off, because this is the one you want. You still want to see this in your quilt. So that's why...
Sharon, go print that off and take that shopping with you, hon.
Yeah, if you take that with you and tell the girl you need 48 10-inch backing squares, she can tell you roughly how much fabric, and it worked out to almost... Never mind, I don't know. Because I cut all my squares, remember?
Yeah.
I cut all 4 yards of my fabric and I didn't need it, so I'm not gonna... Somebody did work that out for us last week. How much fabric you'll need.
Yeah, I think it was Ayla.
Yeah, I think it was Ayla. Ayla worked everything out for us. We should have wrote that down and put it in the group.
Yeah.
But if you take it
I'm
to...
thinking, I wanted to know, like, instead of a jelly roll, how many yards of fabric do you need to buy?
See, that I don't know, because, Martha, why would you want to do your strips all one color?
Yeah.
Well, How many jelly rolls are you using in here then?
So far, I only have one jelly roll, and I'm hoping to God it's enough. And if it's not, then I don't know what I'm going to have to order. Another jelly roll from Missouri Star from RJR Fabrics in this line. And I think Karen even put a link for that in the files. Can't remember if she did or not.
So far you used one jelly roll.
So far I have one jelly roll and one package of batting.
How many yards did you buy for your backing?
I bought 4 yards. I cut all 4 yards, but you don't need it all. You might only need about 2.5 yards of fabric.
Are you going to make one with us, Martha?
Oh, be quiet.
I think I'm inspiring Martha on this Christmas.
Well, you know what? I am absolutely so loving this easy sewing design that
She's tempted.
I am very tempted, but you know what I am tempting to do?
What?
If I do,
Uh-huh.
is I want to buy the same material that Karen got. I just can't.
Oh, that jelly roll that Karen got?
Out of my brain.
That's all purple.
I know, that's what I wanted. I told everybody, I said I'd do one with purple.
Yep.
And turquoise and black, and then Karen pops all that beautiful material out.
Yep, Karen's.
Like, oh my God, that's what I was thinking.
Yep, she got that jelly roll from Missouri Star when it was on sale too.
No, hers that I really like is the fat quarters.
Well, you can use fat quarters. I just don't ask me how many you need because that I just don't know. Maybe you can find someone out. The thing with a fat quarter is you want, okay, I can't stress enough. With a jelly roll, you're going to get almost every print that came out in that line in that color coordination.
Right.
So, you know, if I was to do this differently on just a few fabrics, it might turn out beautiful too because you can alternate purple, turquoise, purple, turquoise. You know what I'm saying? You could do it that way too. It'll still be absolutely gorgeous.
Right.
But that's...
I like one with the gold threads in it. Oh man.
Well, that's why you need to buy a whole jelly roll, Martha, and watch Missouri Star when they put it on for deal of the day, because quite often they have the purple and teal ones on sale for like $21, and you get the whole jelly roll. And that's a good deal. Like getting it for $21 or $22, you're getting a hell of a bargain.
Yeah.
So just watch for it, or you can always go order the one that she is using in particular, and she can give you the name of it. And
okay, Ayla's here. She says 1 yard of fabric is 12 squares times 12 by 12, so 48 squares is about 4 yards.
Okay, there you go, and we're using 48 squares. Karen, did you post in the week one what your jelly roll looked like?
Nope.
Oh, she didn't. But she can always go check in Missouri under her account.
No, I showed you guys in chat privately what I got.
Yeah, she did.
Oh, I thought you linked that deal of the day in the group.
I did link the deal of the day, but not that jelly roll.
No.
Just so they could find the deal of the day.
Oh, because you bought that on deal of the day, and if I go back and look in the group, I think you posted that particular jelly roll when it was the deal of the day.
I don't know. I may have. I can't tell you that. Right.
Yeah, I know you did. You always posted when you said to everyone, because you posted it for me too, because I looked for it. But anyway, regardless, it's kind of purples and teals. You can get any one of their fabric lines because they have a lot of jelly rolls in the purple and the teals with the metallic print on it.
I'm scrolling up, Ruby. I'll find it in your chat.
Okay.
It's in our private chat. I may find it.
That's all right.
So, the backing is cut at a 12 by 12,
That's
right?
shipping here or to the border?
To the
No.
border. No, here would be more.
Oh.
So print out that thing, Martha. It gives
I
you
don't have a printer.
exact same size.
I thought you had a printer, Martha.
I do. I still don't have the ink for it, though.
Oh, okay.
Things kept coming up. I haven't bought them yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
So
anyway.
I'm trying to write down 48 squares is 4 yards. So
When did I buy that stupid thing?
Oh, that was quite a while ago. It was actually probably. Ooh, I know you ordered it like almost 2 months ago because remember you ordered it and said I'm using that for my quilt as you go. So it was over a month ago. So
Ruby
you can.
squares are 10 by 10. Now, is that what you're showing, or is that the backing?
These are 10 by 10.
And your backing is how big?
8 by 8. Your backing needs. Your batting
No,
needs.
batting is 8 by 8.
Okay, and the backing is 10 by 10.
Yes.
Your batting has to be smaller than your backing.
So your top square is 8 by 8. Your backing is 10 by 10.
Correct.
Very good. Thanks.
Yeah, because if you look here, it's an inch bigger all the way around. So your batting, whatever size you make, you want it 2 inches bigger in the backing. So 8 by 8, 10 by 10. If you make a 10 by 10 square, you want a big one, you have to make a 12 by 12 backing. It's got to be 2 inches bigger so you have an inch left over all the way around your square.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. This is simple enough. A caveman could do it.
Exactly.
No, that's a free pattern. Oh my gosh.
What, Karen? What did you do?
No, I just didn't realize how much me and you write back and forth.
Oh, you're looking through our messenger?
Yes.
Okay, I could tell you an easy way. Are you looking for the link to your fabric?
Well, that's what you wanted, wasn't it? That jelly roll?
Okay, what you have to do is go to your Missouri Star Quilt Company, click on My Accounts, My Orders, open it up, and all your orders will be in there. You just click on the link to what you ordered, like the jelly roll, and it brings you right to the page.
Right.
Gosh, Ruby Lockwood, and I'm already up to February 13th.
Sorry.
Okay.
I did say that earlier that you can look under Missouri for your block.
It went right over my head, right?
Oh, okay.
That didn't even sink in.
So now what we're doing is we are actually doing our quilting. And see how much easier it is to quilt a little block than it is to do a whole quilt? Hey.
Oh, I got a very good deal.
You got what?
I got a very good deal because they jumped it back up to $35.95.
Yeah. Like you may never see that jelly roll, that particular one on sale in the deal of a day. What is the deal of the day today? It was stupid thing yesterday.
That's my jelly roll, guys, that I'm using for this right now. Deal. Deal of the day is the gelada ombre jelly roll for $22.25.
Ooh, show it to Martha. She might even like that one. That ombre is beautiful fabric, Martha. That's the one you loved of mine. What'd she say?
I don't know. I did not hear her.
I didn't hear her either.
Okay, ladies, here's the deal today. Ruby is enabling you, not Karen. Okay, let's
Yeah.
get that straight right now.
Oh, shit. Why me?
Because you're the one that said go find out what the daily deal is. Or I would have not never known.
Yeah, sure. Blame me. I love that. I love it.
That would make a really pretty log cabin quilt.
Ooh. Yes, the ombre is so gorgeous.
I can't afford it right now. I like the hair. Oh. And that one usually sells for $40, people. It's Maywood Studios. And the reason it's a higher price is because it's ombre. It's how they decorated the fabric.
Yep.
Nice rich colors, aren't they, Sharon? Yeah. Oh, don't worry about your sewing here, Shirley. Did you get it, Deborah?
I'm going to look at it. I want to see if it's the ombre I used in my quilt. Just checking. Just checking. Oh, shoot. I can't.
You don't need it. You stay away.
No.
I'm going to get more coffee. I need to be wound up more. Oh,
Damn.
hey, I need more tea, too, so I'll do that.
Which one is it? I can't look at it through here. I'll have to leave this, and I'm not leaving it. So I'll have to check it out after.
Okay, let me go see. Do. Oh, so, there are...
Okay, this is the last one here.
And I believe, Ruby, that material you bought, the TFT, is sold out.
They're sold out.
Yep. That's what it says here.
In the
Did
solids? Oh, mine's a solid, Martha. That one that's sold out is not the one I have. I
I
have
thought you bought the one with the pinks and the turquoise and the tans and brown one kind of.
no, mine's a solids. There's no patterns on mine.
No, not your solids. I'm talking about the one fat quarter bundle.
Oh,
Never mind, never mind, never mind.
okay.
Did you go look at it, Ruby?
No, I can't. It takes me, if I click on that
Go
link,
look at it.
if I click on that link, it takes me out of my video and then I can't get back into my video.
Right.
So I'll have to go check it after I'm done.
I'm gonna say, go look on your phone.
I can. I got Facebook up on my phone.
Never said it's in my cart.
It would make a beautiful log cabin. I'd love to do a log cabin with that.
Yeah, it probably would be gorgeous then.
I had to buy my thread and my thread stands and stuff. So
Did you get your thread, Karen?
yes, it came yesterday.
Oh, it did? And how is it look?
It looks like thread.
Oh, you're funny.
Well, I don't know what
I'm
you
saying
want
the
me
same
to
thing,
say.
Karen.
I don't know what you want me to say. I mean, it just looks
What
like
thread did you order, though? That's what I want to know. China thread or Missouri's thread?
Well, I ordered Oracle thread
Oh,
from
Missouri.
Amazon.
Amazon. Right. All right, so there's your quilted block. And all trimmed up. All my threads are all cut off, but you notice I got no bird nests in here. So the less bulk you have with bird nests, the better it is. So try not to get bird nests in there. And that's why I have all those threads. Hey, did I have a pin in here still?
No, Deborah. No, Deborah, don't browse, honey. Don't browse. Come back to us, Deborah. Come to the light. Come to the light.
What is she doing?
The daily deal. That's all we go for, Deborah.
It's too late.
No, come back. We got milk and cookies over here.
All right, I have these two to do. So these two are done. These two are all quilted up and pretty. That means we'll have 2 big blocks done. Hey, I want to see that.
You want to see what?
That damn thing. I'm checking on my phone. See, I have you guys. That means
Check on your phone.
I have to go find.
Daily deal.
Oh.
Because it's a good price. $21.
How do I do this? Go to YouTube. Go to my channel.
22.25.
Go to my channel.
Well, still,
Go to my live video.
I have to go find.
Compared to
Aha.
$40.
There it is.
You see it?
Oh, yes. Those are pretty. Those are so bright, springy colors. Oh, my gosh.
That would make the perfect spring quilt.
Oh, my. Look at it. Even shows you what the jelly roll looks like.
I know.
Oh my god, I would have to add on another room just to put all my quilts that I've made.
Oh, my gosh. That is gorgeous. Okay,
Isn't
so I'm going to go
beautiful?
back up and look at this one.
It's so stinking beautiful.
Dang it. I'm an idiot. I went to your channel instead of the...
Show you what the jelly roll looks like. Whose channel? I know.
Oh my god.
There we go.
Ruby?
Oh,
You have to click
yeah.
on your name instead of.
Yes, this one that you purchased is stunning, stunning, stunning. Oh my God, I can't wait to see you do quilt blocks with that.
I know.
Yes. All right. Oh, no. Hello? I don't want to lose this. Did I lose this already? No, I can still hear you guys.
Hi.
All good.
Hello.
I didn't hang up on you, did I?
No, I can hear you.
All right. Very good.
You're fine.
Very good, my love.
Muffin.
Muffin. All right, on to the next. Uh,
Updated his status. We gotta go see what it is.
what?
My brother updated his status.
Okay. Check it out.
Aldi has toilet paper. Your fingers will go through it, but they have toilet paper.
Oh my lord.
My brother's just so classy.
Did you all see the one that I shared on Facebook about the?
I
And I don't
shared
know
that.
why they think about it, but this lady did some beaded toilet paper rolls. It was pretty cute.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yep, I've seen that.
Hi, Clint.
All right, Deborah. Woohoo!
What did Deborah do?
She got the daily deal.
Oh my God, you guys. I'm jealous.
Rupees in the neighborhood.
I would buy it, but I can't afford it right now because
Yep.
I need to go back to work starting tomorrow or Monday.
And my dog is not going to do without food. I'm sorry. Not for Babbitt. It ain't happening.
Well, we need toilet paper, remember?
I got toilet paper. I suggest you break that today.
Yesterday I counted how many rolls I had.
Yeah, well, people have gone a little overboard with the toilet paper.
I know, it's just like
If
panic after
that's the
every
most
day.
important thing is having toilet paper, their priorities are really screwed up.
Right. Well, I imagine they bought food along with it.
Yeah, food is much more important.
If you find me scooting my butt on the grass, mind your own business.
If I find you scooting your butt on the grass, I'm going to smack you with a roll of paper.
My shower is right beside my toilet, so if I run out of toilet paper during the epidemic, I'll just shower.
I've seen that on somebody else's thing too. I thought it was quite funny.
Yep, back to work. I do not know how I'm going to survive this. Got to do what you got to do. I have a mortgage to pay, just like everyone else.
Yeah, that's right.
And you're wondering why I have all these long threads. Let me explain it. The reason I have all these long threads hanging off is because I'm pulling out my thread from my machine like this and holding it. So I don't get a bird's nest, I don't get extra bulk, and my fabric doesn't go bang, bang, bang and just stitch in one spot because it is thin. So I hold that thread
Deborah says the bat price jelly roll comes out to $8 a yard.
Yeah, I wish I could afford that right now because I would buy it, but I can't. And Jeff's car has to get fixed now because I have,
Oh no, what happened to his car?
his wheel bearings went.
Oh no. Is he
Yeah,
gonna
and
get
he's using
replaced
my
then?
car. He's been using my car for work, but I need my car back on Monday, so
Yeah.
they're getting his car. It can't get fixed till Friday anyway because the guy can't do it till Friday.
Well,
Not
what's he gonna do all week then?
well. I told my supervisor when I called him yesterday, I said, I'm going to give you fair warning that one of our cars are broken down until Friday. And he said, that's okay, we'll work something out. So he was very nice about it.
Okay.
Yeah, this guy's not a dick like the other one is. Not as much.
Okay.
It's
Well, thank God she's gone.
gone for 5 weeks. Good riddance.
Yeah.
I hope you never come back.
Don't work there no more or what?
She's gone for 5 weeks.
Maybe she'll stay on leave.
What?
I said maybe she'll stay out on leave.
Yeah. So I hope, pray she never comes back. Hope she comes back when I retire.
Would that not be perfect? Yeah, it would that
I know it's an awful thing to say, but she's a diabetic and she's always needs surgery, some kind of surgeries on her kidneys or something's always going wrong.
be? Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, I don't wish her ill health. I just wish she doesn't never come back.
Oh, my mind just went blank.
And then if I have to
How long before you can retire, Ruby?
not till 7 years.
That's what I was thinking. You guys have to be. Your retirement is like it is up here.
Oh, and I think all
65.
retirements like that. You've got to have so many years in, so much. Like I could retire in 2 years if I want pre-retirement, but I'm going to retire at a reduced income. I don't. No thanks. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's what my mom did. My mom worked until she was 70, 71.
Yep. Lots of people
And
do.
then she retired. But she could do it, and she wanted to do it, you know? It's like, dad's been gone all these years, so
Kept her busy.
Yep. You
let her
can.
stay, let her stay busy doing something, yeah.
Yep. You
But
can.
then she started coming home at lunch and taking naps. And one day, her work called her and said, Josie, are you coming back to work? And she said, oh yeah, I fell asleep in my chair. And so she knew it was time. It was getting time for her to retire.
Yeah. See all these threads hanging off? Just trim them off now and
Look, Deborah's enabling other people too.
good. Let her get some blame too. You keep doing that. You keep carry on, Deborah. Just keep enabling. Let the husbands come after you and not me for a change. I just love how nicely all these threads just trim up. So that's why I do it this way. And I got no bird nests. If you do it this way, you'll have nice, I know it's a little bit of an extra step of work, but no bird nests. So no extra bulk. There we go. One more to go, guys. And I got to get up again. I don't know what's wrong with me. Just sitting too much. I got to remember when I put my blocks together, I don't put those two the same. With the same thing. Geez, did I do that on all of them? So if I do this one here, oh good. So these ones won't match up. But this one will, right?
It's going to drive me crazy figuring out my colors so each square doesn't, because I'm so OCD about that.
Yeah.
Make you 4 piles, lights and darks, and then pull from 2 piles, your lights and dark, and then your next one you pull from the other pile.
Good
Does
idea.
that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
This one here is wrong.
Yeah, it'll
It's
drive
got to
me
go
crazy.
that way.
Oh, I can't have 2 polka dots together. Oh my God.
That's Ruby coming out in you.
I'm going to flip this one this way so that black one is gone. I'm going to get rid of that one. So there. Now we will change that like that. We will change this one to there. And this one, no. This one to there, like that. There we go. How's
One year
that?
I made a friend a pair of polka dot earrings, and oh my gosh, make sure I didn't get the same color close to each other.
Oh my God, this is gorgeous. Okay, be right back. Oh, I gotta get up.
Beautiful, Ruby, so beautiful.
Oh,
And with that lace, it's going to make it look so Christmassy.
yeah, it does. It does look Christmassy. Even from here, from a distance, it looks gorgeous. Oh.
You know what would have been really pretty though is if she had the gold metallic thread sewing it all. Wow.
I'm not a fan of gold.
I am.
I'm not. I prefer silver. Even in my jewelry, I don't like gold.
Well, a metallic thread or silver would even have worked.
Yeah?
But I'm a gold nut. I like gold.
Most people are. Most people do. But my mom, it might be something I get from my mom because my mom's the exact same way. And she don't, she wants, like Dad used to buy her white gold because she doesn't like the yellow. And I'm the same way. But I'm fine with just silver, whatever that's called.
Well, Kathy, if you got that much OCD, come over here and organize all my stuff.
I'm telling you, I'm bad.
But you need to come here then too. Stop through Tennessee first and find my Fitbit charger.
Kathy's organizing service on tour.
Yeah,
there you go.
On tour.
I'll come with you, Kathy, and we'll make our way to Ruby's.
Hey,
Hey, that works.
I'll be in that van with you.
No, you won't. We're not stopping at your house.
We'll organize.
Oh,
We'll organize and
thanks.
deal with a few things.
I'm just kidding, Martha.
Karen,
What, hon?
you don't love me.
Oh, you know you love me.
There's no crying and crafting.
Yeah.
There is if you don't get picked up to go to Ruby's.
Well, we'll open the van door. You take a run and jump. How's that?
Well, that'd be better than me on the skateboard behind the van.
Hey, my brothers can do that. I used to.
Hey, Karen, we might need her as a lookout while we steal Ruby's stuff.
No, I'm going to steal Ruby. I ain't worried about her stuff.
I think you'll have trouble getting her from Jeff.
No, we'll hit Ruby.
I don't think so, not for a day. Bye, Jeff.
No, I think he would miss his woman. He would miss his woman. I found it.
Oh, Lordy.
Oh my gosh, I'm having hot flashes now. What is wrong with me? How hot? I turned off all the heaters in the house. It's raining out. You can't open the windows. It's too cold. So why am I burning up?
What are you whining about?
Age.
Right?
It's AGE. AGE.
Only 73 degrees in here.
Wow, that's pretty warm.
Yeah, it's warmer than what I got in here.
Oh, well, I don't got no heat on. Crazy.
I'm all excited about the tour.
That's it.
What tour?
None of your business, Fred.
What do you mean none of my business? Hey, you get off the pot.
We're
My mom used to say that. She used to say, shit or get off the pot. That's what she would say.
sing at you. Happy home. See nothing wrong with that.
Do now.
Come here, you little
Okay.
biatch.
Different shades of colors next to each other. I think that works beautifully.
I'm sure I'd figure a way. I think so.
Did you get the pineapple done, Cassie?
What?
Asking Cassie if she got her pineapple quilt done.
I'm taking the paper off of 15. I've got 14 more to do.
To sew or to take the picture off?
Wow, good girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll be done in 14 more. Yep, I'm good.
Yeah, but then you got to sew the sashings on all of them, so you have fun with that. I'm just saying. Just saying, Kathy. You're not close to being done.
I know. That's why we won't make another one this week.
But you'll have the cucka part almost done.
Whoa, Ruby. You're like a big old flower of...
I promised my customers. I promised my viewers I will never do a pineapple quilt again, and I mean it.
Yes, and we are very thankful for that. You don't even know how thankful we are for that.
Oh, good. So that means I didn't hurt anybody's feelings by not doing that again. Good.
No.
Good.
It's an easy pattern should somebody wish to try it on a smaller quilt.
Yes, but mine was supposed to be small. Mine's only 40. 2. And I whined. And I whined the whole time about
Yes,
it.
you did. That's why it was so painful for us.
Shut up. So painful, eh? I know it was. I have to admit it was, Karen. You're right. Everything I do is painful. Like this quilt I'm building, not this one, but the one I'm doing right now with all this fabrics I started, that's going to be painful. Because I have to square up about 400 little squares.
Well, I'm really looking forward to our log cabin one.
Yes.
I love log cabin. I've always wanted to do one.
And I've got some neat ideas.
That
That's
one
going to be beautiful.
is going to be the next one after this one's complete.
Yeah.
Because we are going to quilt it as we go as well. because a log
Yeah.
cabin is just a bunch of lines like this.
I'm gonna try and get some of my sewing done at least because I have to go sit with a lady on Wednesday and I have to go get my infusion on Thursday.
Right.
So I want to get a couple of my blocks done.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to kind of use basically the same technique as this for the log cabin. We'll have to quilt our lines a little differently, but hey, that's what makes it different. Ouch.
Well, you might. I'm not so sure I want to do it as a quilt as you go, Ruby.
Well, you don't have to. I'm not forcing anyone to do anything. I just say it's a lot easier for people with small domestic machines that don't have a lot of throat space that
Yeah.
want
Like
to do
me.
it. Well, yeah, like you, for instance. Yes.
And that, because I have a brother too, and they're small. So I'm
Yeah.
doing all quilts as you go.
To me, it's a lot easier to quilt this block right now, this size. I hate doing having to do them when they're super big. Oh, jeez.
Well, I'd rather make my block and then stitch it onto the thing than. Oh no, I don't know. I'm just gonna shut up. Hi, Edith.
Kathy.
Hello, Edith. So some of your threads will get sewed in on the seam. Just pull your threads out. Don't rip your stitching though on the back, because sometimes they just get tucked underneath, you know, like right here. My stitching grabbed this thread here, so it just pulls right back out. So no fuss, no muss. There we go. That's all done there. Make sure it's gone all off of the front. Nothing stitched on the front. There we go.
Oh, Deborah says she's going to quilt as I go for my farmer's life because I have a small sewing machine.
Right. That one is more going to be more difficult for people with a domestic machine, but I don't want to quilt that one as I go. I do not. That's just why I'm offering this class instead of doing.
Yeah, but you know that by you doing this class, you've opened up sewing and quilting for a lot of people
Yes.
that done it before, Ruby.
Right.
You know.
Therefore, enabler.
Yeah.
Even Martha is thinking about doing this. That to me means I'm getting to people.
Yeah, good one too.
Well, you're not beating, so I might as well quilt along. Good Lord, woman.
Yeah, but it's because you love this and it's easy.
That's it. It's easy.
Very, very easy. Makes your life
Mary
worth
said
living.
she's going to be doing all her quilts as you go too.
Oh no, I'm not doing that with my farmer's wife, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to do it.
Well, you don't have to, hon.
No.
But if that's the only way
That
they
one I
have to
want
do
done
it,
with a professional.
Some quilts, I feel to me, you can't do
Sharon, she's not
as
doing
you go because some of them, I don't know. Quilt as you go, you got that seam that goes around each of your squares. I don't know.
Well, let me see how this is all going to turn out. I think I'm going to switch that. Oh, God, no.
Well, maybe sometime in the future, who knows when, I might could do one.
Yes. Let me think. Do I like this? No. No, I do not. So I'm going to flip this like that. Don't like this one. So I'm going to flip that one. Hi, buddy.
Aww.
How about...
Deborah says, I'm putting thought into it because I want to still have some corners, cornerstones, etc. I'm drafting ideas.
Yeah, that's why I do not want to quilt it as you go. No, because that's going to have the same pieces here. How can I change this? This way?
Deborah, you get it figured out, let me know and I'll make sure that it gets into our files.
There we go. All right, so now we're going to sew our blocks together, and then we're going to put lace on top. And I haven't collected my lace, so I put separate lace aside for my sashings. So, which one is this one? That's going to go here, and then this one is going to go on
that
the
way looks good.
middle. Okay. So what you want to do is you cut two pieces. Two pieces the size of your block. You don't want it any bigger. So we're going to need these. Probably got to trim them off a little bit later.
And where did you get all your lace rolls?
From Amazon. Okay, so that one. And then we're going to cut this one after because we got to measure it.
Oh, I like that lace.
All right, so let me move this. Turn our iron on because you're going to need your iron, and I'm just going to press these laces flat a little bit, you know. Jeff, when you go out, hon, will you get some ginger ale?
Yeah.
But not in the big bottles. I can't stand bottles pop like that. Please. I prefer a can of ginger ale. All right. So, now you're going to pick your two pieces. So after you lay out your block, let me back out a little bit because it's going to be hard for you guys to see this. Let me back out a little. There we go.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Oh, thank you.
You're going to pick up your two pieces. Now, in order to get these, where's my pins? Over here. To get these to line up, because see, you can't see them with the sashing here. So all I do is I fold this down on this corner here, and I fold this one, and I match up these two corners here. So my block matches up here. I don't care if it matches up here. I'm not worried about the sashing. I'm worried about it matching up here. So I will pinch it tight down here, roll my sashing back up out of it, because now I know that those are centered or perfect. Stick a pin in it. And then you're going to do the same over here. You're going to fold this corner down and fold that, and you're going to match your blocks up. Okay. And I'm just squeezing on the side here to make sure they're lined up on the side as well. And then I could pinch down here, pull this out, pull your sashing out, and put a pin in it. Okay?
With a pin.
Now you're going to do the same thing here. You're going to fold your center down, fold this center down, and match this up. Make sure it's, you know, kind of not over in any way. Hold it down, pull your sashing up, and give it a pin. Okay, so now we know these two blocks are lined up on both sides. So let's do this again. Fold this side down, fold this side down. This is just to help you to see your blocks joined up there. Now, I could feel right here, it's not straight, so make sure it stays straight. And then pull your sashing up, pinch it, pin it. And then I'm going to do it here and here. Line it up there. Pull those up. Pin it. And you can also just fold it back like that. Fold it back like that. Make sure it's, pinch it right there. You could just pin it. You don't even have to roll the fabric back, as long as you have it nice and straight there. Okay, and then we're just going to sew. So make sure you line up your sashing and put a pin in there. Now, if you're not good at with eyeballing things, then draw your lines. And that's what I'm going to do just to show you. Draw your line so you know where to start sewing. So this is here and here. So you want to start...
New to quilting like I am, take your time.
You want to start sewing from there, and you want to go right off and sew straight off of here, about there.
And a very good tip too is make sure your pin goes straight down first through the material. If not, it will offset your material. So make sure your pin goes straight through first and then bend your material.
Right.
Okay, Ruby, when we sew straight off, are we back tacking at all?
I do back tack on this just because I'm joining rows. I like to just put a back tack stitch. You don't have to go crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, make sure it's secure.
Oh, where's that pin? Oh, geez. Of course it has to be on the other side. Where is it?
I
Pinhead.
back tack everything I sew, that's for sure.
Oh, jeez. I can't get my pin out. There we go. All right, and now you're going to stitch all along beside your square. Not on your squares, beside your square. Pull your pin out. Pull the pin out. And
3 more days.
for what?
St. Patty's Day.
Oh, wow. All right. So those two are nicely sewed together. You try not to stitch on your fabric as much as you can. That means you've had it nice and straight. So you're going to do the same thing over here now. Make sure your squares are lined up. And then you're going to start sewing after you drew that line. I never drew it, but you can. I can really actually eyeball it, so I'm not worried. I'm sewing as close as I can to the edge of my fabric here. Okay. And this one's done. So now we're going to just match it up, make sure we did it right, did it the way we like it. And I like that. That's pretty. Now, you're going to use your iron. Move this out of the way. Move this out of the way. I think I'm pretty much...
Ruby?
Yep.
Mary has a question. Did you change the stitch length?
Nope, I'm leaving everything at 2. I'm not changing any stitch lengths at all.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to bring my ironing board over so you guys can see. Those are my pieces here. So you can see the back. None of my things matched up here. Oops, we have a thread. I don't care about that. This really is not important to me. This doesn't stress me at all. I don't care about that part. I only care about the top. So now you're going to open this big seam open. Open it up, give it a press. So it presses open. So it looks like that. Then you're just going to take it and you're going to fold it. You're going to fold it under till it meets the here. So that's about a 1/2 inch. You can't go wrong. If you had these at 1 inch, like I told you to, you should have no problems here. It should all be an even 1/2 inch all the way down when you're working with folding it over.
Wow, that looks so pretty.
Okay, that's done. Now you're going to do the same over here. You're going to fold this under. Ooh, that's hot. A 1/2 inch. Ooh, damn it, that's hot. Ow.
Careful, it's hot.
Ow, ow.
Iron hot.
Yes. Very hot. Okay.
Be right back. I gotta get me some more Maya.
And I'm just going to have a look at it and see if it bowed out anywhere. If it still looks like it's about 1/2 inch everywhere. Right here is kind of bowed a little. So I'm going to push that in.
God bless you, Martha.
Yes, bless you, Martha.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. I just didn't want to interrupt Ruby. But I
All right.
heard you.
Okay.
Let me put myself on mute then.
So there
Oh, my
is,
checkbook.
so for your sashing, you can leave it like that. Now you see how pretty your quilting lines look on your sashing as opposed to having it sloppily showing on the back where you ended it. Now it doesn't show that here, and it's not going to show it in any of your seams. So now you're going to flip this over. You're going to take your pretty lace. If you're using a lace, don't sew it down, but you're going to line it up between your blocks. So I'm going to put it here, and then we're going to pin it. You want to pin it down, not into your ironing board though. Okay. Try to center it the best you can because we're going to stitch this from the top, not from the bottom. We want to stitch our lace on from the top so we can keep it really nice and straight and make sure we hit it. The other one I put on from the back side, but I had to because I had to follow my previous line so I didn't have a whole bunch of lines back there. So this is why you want to put your lace on first before you actually stitch it down. So we're going to stitch the lace down, and this is wrong because it moved. And I'm going to put another pin here because I do not want my lace moving. I want it to stay nice and straight. So the more pins you use, the more friendlier it'll be. So that's what it looks like. Nice and straight on my sashing. So let's prep this one too, and then we will go get them all sewed up. So you first open up your seam and give it a press. Whoops. I hit my lace there. All right. And now you're going to just fold this under all the way down. And this will give you a really beautiful finished look. And people will be like, how did you make that? Like, how did you get all your quilting lines like that? Like, how did you get them to be not seen on top of the other? And it'll be, shh, it's our dirty little secret. It's our dirty little secret. All right. And now we've got that one done. Okay, so we'll take our lace. We're going to layer it between the blocks because that's where you want it to be. And pin it. just put pins straight down like that. And then we will sew this baby down. Then we'll sew our 2 blocks, our 2 units together to make one big block. So these should be 3 of these blocks down. So 3 full blocks down or across and 4 blocks down. All right, let's sew this up. That lace looks crooked right here on me. Don't like it. Like that. It's hanging more on one side of the sashing. Not a fan of that. So just adjust it. Don't get your shit tied in a knot because we have a toilet paper shortage. And that one kind of shuffled over. So do I like it now? I've had to move every pin. All right, now I'm happy. Okay. Okie dokie. Now, let's sew this down, and you want to sew it as close to the edge without missing your fabric. So I'm going to sew it in about 1/4 of an inch, not even. Yeah, enough that I'm going to hit it. So actually you need to start right up here. So I'm just going to start with 1/4 inch. Just want to make sure I hit that lace. And it's looking pretty darn good. So that looks really, really nice. And now you can see my stitching line here. This is why I didn't want to do twice. So there's my stitching line right here. This one here is my lace. And now we're going to do the second one on this side. Start on the outside. Why is that not working? It's not sewing. Because it came out of the needle. It's Martha's fault.
And it seems it's a census year.
All right.
Anybody else get theirs yet?
Nope. Don't get mail on Saturday in Canada.
Well, you wouldn't get a U.S. census anyway.
No. All right. So now our lace is sewed down, and it's so. No, it's not sewed down. Now I run out of bobbin. Jeez Louise. I did. I'm gonna just clean this out because now I have to get a new bobbin. Clean out the lints. Alright, it's good enough. It's not that dirty. Thank God for that. Okay.
Man, I really don't want to do this crap.
What crap?
Census.
I don't like doing that either. Really?
It's their way of being nosy.
Yep, it sure is.
But it says you're required by law. You have to do it.
Yeah, same here. You have to do the census.
But and they say you have to do it online.
Huh?
You read, they say you have to do it online.
I'm not doing it online. They sent me a questionnaire and they sent me a return address, and that's how I'm doing it.
Oh, well, good for you.
All right, so it broke over here. My thread ran out. That's a bummer.
June got hers. She said she had to do hers online.
You're in a different country.
June, not June.
Oh. Well, yeah. I'm not doing mine online.
All right, trim my threads. And trim my thread back here where I had to restart. All right. I like to trim all these threads because I don't want to be tucking anything in if I don't have to. So there. Now we've got our 2 lines done and our laces sewed down. Now get on to the other one and shut up. Carry on.
Well, I got ripped off, Deborah. I don't got no dowel. Turkey, turkey.
Okay. There we go. That's all sewed on. Now, these are not quite matching up, so I'm going to trim them off a little bit. I want that to be straight, but I don't want to throw my sashing off. I want to make sure my 1 inch is everywhere. And right there. So now it's nice and straight here. I'm going to do the same over here. Even Steven it. 1 inch across. There we go. So now our seams hopefully all match. 1 inch. Checking, yep, right there is good, there's good. And it might have stretched a wee bit from quilting it, and that's okay, just trim it off. Keep things squared up. Alright, so we've got those two sewed, those two, and this is now we're going to join it. So our square looks like this. So you're going to do it the same way. You're going to fold this back, and you're going to fold this back, and you're going to match up your sashings. So your center seam is matched, your sashings are matched, like that. Okay, and then I'm going to stick a pin in it down here so it does not move, and then I'm just going to pull up my sashings. Pull them out, see? And now
Did you change any of your stitch length?
No.
No.
Nope. No changing, nothing. All right, so that's good there. Now fold your corner back. Fold this corner back and match up these 2 pieces here. Sometimes it's good to fold it in all the way around so that you're good and squared in right there. And hold it right there. Unfold everything and shove a pin in it. Should be good. And stick a pin in it. Okay.
Oh.
There we go. Now, Now I want to make sure it's flush there to there. So you're going to put another pin here because we're sewing our block. This is going to be one block. Now you do the same up here. You fold this back. It's important to match up these blocks or you're going to have them way out of whack. It's important that you match these up here. Right there. See how these match? And make sure they match on the side as well. At least down 1 inch. 1/4 of an inch. So about there. I likey. So I'm going to stick that in there so it don't move. Pull these back out and shove a pin in it. But I'm still holding it. That pin really did a number there. All right. Put a pin back in here. That moved on me. There we go. There. Now if your sashing was nice and straight, 1 inch like I told you to square it all up, if your sashing is even Steven, should all match. You should have no problems. And then my sashing up here, so I'm going to be sewing down this way. So I'm going to put a pin in my sashing here. And I'm going to check down here because something is off over here. And it's off here, but I have to leave it like that because my blocks won't be matched up. So I will just try my best to match up my sashing. That's all that matters. There we go. Now you're going to sew that as close to your edge as you can. Just don't sew on the fabric. You don't need to. And what I'm doing is lifting my presser foot up over the lace because it's pushing. No, I don't want to get on there. There we go. All right, pull that pin out and let's give this a little press. So look at how gorgeous. Wow, these almost all matched up, my diamonds. Look. They almost all matched up. Hi, Pamela. And then you're going to iron that out. And I bet my iron shut off. Yep. It sure did. All right. Let that heat up. And what's really nice is knowing that your sashing was matched up. Uh-oh. Hopefully that's not going to show. Nope, it won't.
No. Push your face, Pamela. Pamela says, I'm on the Joann's website. All jelly rolls and fat quarters are 50%
Oh my God, I wish I could shop on Joann's. I hate them people now.
They won't ship to you, will they?
Nope, they don't ship to Canada anymore.
Yeah.
They stopped that
Yeah,
in
that is-
2016. In September of 2016 is when they stopped shipping to Canada.
Oh my gosh, she has it memorized.
Yeah, because I used to buy a lot of stuff from Joann's. I even phoned them and asked them why they were doing that. They said they were moving their warehouse or something, and they don't know if their warehouse will ship international. She goes, and a lot of our customer base are Canadians. I said, well, your loss, not mine.
Yeah.
Even their shipping to Canada was reasonably cheap too. Well, not reasonably cheap, but it was not outrageous either. So make sure you try to get your seams nice and straight and even Steven. But see, this also, putting the lace on top, hides all this threads, all your stitching, keeps everything just really clean, neat, and tidy. That's basically all it does, guys. All right, we are done with that. So now we're going to cut a piece of lace for here. Is this the one I used? Nope. That's the wrong one. Oh, it don't really matter. So you're going to measure it from that block. This is the same lace. I don't want to use the same. Hang on, guys. I got to get the right lace. This one is the same one that's on here. Okay. I want the one that's got diamonds in it. I've got... No. Where is it? Not that one. Not that one. Is it this one? No. Where is this lace? Like, seriously. Oh, it's this one. Duh. This one here, right? Yes. Okay. Now I got the right one. All right.
What is that noise?
Not sure. Okay.
Not me.
So measure it to here from this edge of this block to the edge of this block. And you're going to cut your lace off. And then we will pin it down and sew it. And then our block is done for today.
She knows that, Mary. She knows that would do too.
What?
But it still costs her too much.
Ruby,
If you want something from Joanne, does she pick it up and ship it? What is that noise?
okay, somebody's got a video running in the background.
It's not me.
So measure it to here from this edge.
Okay, who's got a video playing? Every one of you's mute.
Yep, you're going
Hi, guys. Did you pop in?
It was me.
Karen Stansel, how did you manage that?
My video shuts off sometimes, and I'm trying to watch it, and I don't know why, and I want to turn it back on, and I guess I hit the sound, too.
Oh, that's okay. Then now we know always to blame Karen.
Karen's fault.
We'll get it right.
Karen's got big shoulders. She can carry it.
Oh, see? Look at how pretty this looks, guys. Oh my gosh.
It is. It's very pretty.
It is gorgeous.
I just love it.
I think it is the easiest quilt to make, and yet it looks like one of the fanciest quilts that you could ever make. Mary, thank you very much for that. So can you go to Joann's and buy every jelly roll and send it to me? And I'm only joking, Mary. One of each, please. The
What's
50%
going
off.
on at Joann's?
No, you don't want one of each. You want
rolls and
each
fat quarters.
because they're just half jelly rolls.
Oh, they're only half?
Yeah, they're jelly roll juniors.
Oh, those are still good. Just buy two of the same one and you have a whole jelly roll.
I could be wrong though. That's. I'm thinking Hobby Lobby's is like that. I don't know if Joann's like. So I take that back.
Yes, Pamela, you can use jelly rolls.
Yeah, that's what I used on this, hun.
You can use fat quarters too. You just gotta cut them up.
Yep, you could use fat quarters, but you need a variety. Just to,
If you got enough material that matches together really nicely, you can cut that up.
absolutely.
I'm doing my 2.5 inches on my jelly roll. Ruby cut yours down to, what you cut yours down to, 2 inches, Ruby?
Yes, I cut the strips to 2 inch instead of 2.5.
Yeah.
Just wow. Nobody would know you did this all in blocks as you go. Nobody. Unless you tell them. This
Oh,
is
holy
so...
cow. Body yard, batting, and foam is 60% off.
Oh, wow, guys. Look at this. Even the back is beautiful with the quilt lines. Look it.
Let me
just-
see. Let me see.
It just looks so pretty. So when we join these two together, let's see. Oops. What that'll look like. Look at this. Oh my gosh, that is going to be gorgeous. I just can't emphasize how beautiful that's going to look. And now it's going to look like an X right through, diamond. Like the whole quilting process is, you can look at it so many ways. So many different ways.
It reminds me of a cross.
Yep. All right, I'm just going to get this one sewed so I have 2 blocks complete so I can get pictures of them. That's how easy it is to put some pretty lace on. That is kind of moving around. Oh. Get this one done. And we have 2 complete blocks now. Look at that. So let's have a look at it from the front at what these look like joined. So when they're joined, that's the way it's going to look. It's going to be super beautiful. Like that. Look at that. That is worth the work. But I mean, it's not taking that long because look it, we've got 8 units. 8 units complete, sashing complete. The only thing is now we can join this here, and then our next block will join our next block to here, and then all I'm going to do is add another row of this. Oh, we want it all going the same way. All right, so in here we're going to add this one. Don't really matter which lace. I might even have a different lace to put in here maybe. So
Yeah.
we'll just join it here. And there, look at that. And when all said and done, all these top rows are together, here is your binding all ready for you. Just fold it down, fold it over, and your binding is done. Everything's all in one. I just love it. Like that.
That's going to be beautiful. I hope mine's going to be pretty like that.
It will be. You're just not giving yourself credit. I already know it will be, Karen.
Okay.
Yes, I could tell. It doesn't matter anyway because you've got all that beautiful fabrics. That's what's going to make this. So for now, I'm not going to sew anything together. We're just going to leave this till the end to sew all of our blocks. So I don't even know which one I made today now. They're just all, I don't know, don't matter. There's your quilt as you go, guys. This is just so pretty.
Beautiful.
What?
I said beautiful.
It is beautiful. I even love the back of it. Yes. It's very quilted on the back. It's very, very nice. And that's what you want. It's a really pretty. This here, my quilt lines almost matched up. But I'm not worried that they don't because I'm not looking at the back of this. And this matched up pretty darn good here. A little bit off on this side, but hey. Still worked out. The other one's even more crooked. But it's got, look at extra lines in here because I sewed lace on top of it. But I went over top of my old lines. But it still made them bolder. So you can see I double stitched over them. I don't care about that. It still looks gorgeous.
It does.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yep. Well worth it, guys, to work on this. You can do
And
a
look at your line follows straight through from where,
Yep.
You joined them together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, your lace is not super snug on here. So when it washes, your lace is going to wrinkle. It's just going to look so pretty on there. Bye, Phyllis.
Bye, Phyllis.
So far, Pamela, because I've never done this project before, it's something new. And I'm just sort of designing a lot of this as I'm going. And I really don't know how many jelly rolls, but so far I think just one. That's what I'm hoping. We can get away with making all 48 blocks with one jelly roll. And I don't see why not. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. Today's quilting class was a lot of fun, guys. This is turning out beautiful, beautiful, and beautiful. And I'm just hoping I have enough fabric to finish. Like I have this all left of my jelly roll and it ain't a whole lot, so I'm getting a bit scared. I don't know. I just hope I have enough. I don't think I will though. I got a gut feeling I won't. And now to iron this, it's okay because your batting is all quilted in it. So it don't matter if you iron it. I just don't think it's going to fit in my box. So we'll have to fold it a little bit. Don't want to wrinkle my batting though. Put this away till next week. We get to do 4 more. Hey. 4 more next week. Hey. That over. That's it.
Mary, read what Mary's got on there.
Mary. Today's quilting class was brought to you by Scott Toilet Paper. Wow. I use Charmin. Ah, Mary, you're funny. We're brought to you by Scott Toilet Paper. Oh my God, you are so funny, Mary. Yeah. Aw. Mary's probably cracking up laughing herself right now.
That was pretty funny.
It was brought to you by Scott Paper. Is it Scott a paper towel too? Scott Paper Towels?
Yeah, there's both.
Yeah,
But the paper towel is not like the toilet paper.
right. Right.
Oh.
Well, I probably should sew some more of my squares. I'm so depressed about going back to work. It's awful. It's so awful, guys.
You'll be okay. You'll be okay.
It'll never be okay. Oh, you're
At least
welcome,
she's
Lori.
not there.
What?
At least she's not there.
Yeah, but I was liking staying home.
I know.
It was nice waking up whenever I want in the morning and putting the birds out. Doing my housework because I didn't really have much to do all that time, and go sew. Sew. Yeah. All right. Well, you guys have a good rest of your day. I'm done for today, I guess. There's our quilting class. All done. Not bad.
Okay.
Learning as
Thank
we
you.
go.
I won't be around tomorrow, and I don't know if I'll get online before I go to church, Ruby.
Okay. Just take lots of
Okay,
wipes
honey.
with you. And don't shake anyone's
Uh-huh.
hands.
Do what now?
Don't
No,
sh-
I'm not going to.
Don't shake hands with anyone.
No. I'm gonna wear a mask.
Good. All right, guys. Take care. Bye, everyone.